last few months, I've been reevaluating how I work. So how I manage myself within my business and how I manage my schedule. I just wanted to share some of those insights with you today. So what got me really thinking about this? Well, number one, I have not been in the flow the last couple months. Things have just felt sort of hard. And then the other thing is I've increased my in-person networking quite a bit. That's been really good for me mentally, and it's great to meet new people, but it's also really draining for me. So I've been really thinking about how energy management plays into my overall management strategy. So yes, an event might be, say, 2 hours, but usually I come home feeling really drained because I've been on for that whole amount of time. I've met a bunch of new people and I've taken in a bunch of new information. So it's really hard for me to come home from like a 2-hour networking event and, sit down and do creative work or to do writing or to like really focus on more large energy tasks than it would be if, say, I just did like a 30-minute coffee chat over Zoom. I've really been thinking about not only how much time tasks take, but how much energy they also take. As a solopreneur, it's good to be aware of what activities are more draining than just beyond that time commitment. Now, I've always been the kind of person I've built in buffers around client meetings. It's hard for my brain to jump out of thinking about one person's business into having to switch to thinking about another person's business in a short period of time. The other thing is I've always had that client buffer because I really like to kind of follow in one train of thought. I do so much better if I meet with a client and then I'm able to take action on what we've talked about in those meetings. So for me, it's really important to have that time blocked out after talking to a client so I can take notes and start to execute strategy. Much of what I've been doing is just kind of reevaluating and making sure that I have the structures in place to help me how I work best. Some of the things I've done is scheduling in buffers before and after client meetings, limiting the number of client appointments in a day, giving myself plenty of time for deadlines so I'm not pressed for delivery, and so that I can actually work at a pace that best suits me and my energy. Eliminating projects tackled per day, so choosing only maybe 1 to 2 projects to work on per day instead of having to juggle between 3 or 4. And then along with that is defining my days by projects, not hours worked. So I talked about this in a prior video, which I will link below. But essentially, instead of looking at my day like I'm going to work 8 to 5, it's like I'm going to accomplish these tasks or work on these projects. And then once those tasks are completed, I kind of have the day free. I can do more work if I choose to, or I can do other things that I'm feeling like I need to do around the house or for my self-care or whatever it is. So instead of saying I'm going to work to 8 to 5, it's more my priority is to do these 3 projects and then reassess how I feel later. Blocking off my calendar for project versus meeting days. For example, if I have a networking meeting, I'll block off that day so I have no client work or other kinds of meetings because I know that event's going to be draining. So it's better for me to focus on more low energy tasks like administrative or low energy marketing tasks. And then on the other side of that is if I have a project due soon, say I have a deadline for a client, then I'm going to block off days from any meetings or other obligations so I can focus on that client project. So it's really just making sure that I have the space in my schedule to do what I need to do and protecting my energy and focus on those days that I need to do certain kinds of work. And I do have a different flow for my creative work, administrative work. A lot of times you do have to balance those 2 areas. It's like client work versus like your more internal business work. So for me, that's like marketing, working on projects, so developing courses, all those kinds of things versus what I'm actually delivering to clients. So oftentimes I will assign myself certain days of the week or time blocks to work on a client project. And within that, I usually have a very clear plan of, okay, today I'm going to sit down, I'm going to work on X client's project, and I'm going to do these tasks. Whereas for my internal projects, I might block out a day to focus on my own business, but I give myself a lot of flexibility within that day. I don't say I'm going to write 3 blog posts or record X number of videos. I have a list of priority projects or tasks, and then I choose from that list based on my energy levels that day and how focused I am. I do tend to have more motivation to do client work. I hate things hanging over my head, and so I am more naturally motivated to work on client work. So for me, it's really important to have those boundaries and have those days. These are client days. These are my internal business project days. For my internal project days or time slots, what I've been doing is I've been telling myself, okay, I need to touch this one particular project that I've had been going on at least a week. That way I make sure that I'm making progress on that particular project instead of just wait for the right time or the right mood. So yes, I give myself flexibility, but I also build structure within that flexibility. I'm the kind of person, I've always said, I need structure, routines, but not too much. As I move into this new season, I've also been refining my work week schedule. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are kind of my work days, meaning client or other deeper project work, the internal business work. On those days, I'm going to focus on either client or my personal projects. And then Monday is still my no obligation Monday. So that means it's whatever kind of day I need it. It's to catch up on whatever I need, whether that's work related or personal related. Sometimes I will do client work on that day because I feel stressed about a deadline. Sometimes I will clean the house. It just depends. So Monday is my no obligation day. And then Friday I'm using as a networking coffee chat kind of discovery call day and an administrative catch-up day. So again, I might use these days for client work Monday or Friday, or I might use them for working on my personal projects. But the point is to have these days more free and to not use them within my larger schedule and when I'm looking at deadlines as work days. So it is a flexible schedule. I might do a coffee chat on Thursday, but only if I don't have a client project I already need that time for. Or I might meet with a client on Friday because I know that I don't really have anything that day and I can make time to work on that. Basically, it's all about, though, providing a structure that's there to support me and to help me keep boundaries, but at the same time allows for some flexibility. Learning how you work best and how to manage yourself is one of the biggest challenges most entrepreneurs face. And just like everything else in your business, it's going to be a work in progress. But working on it, allowing yourself to experiment, resetting and rebalancing when you need to is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as an entrepreneur. My philosophy is if you want to stick to a 9-to-5 schedule and you want to have yourself feeling really stressed, super overwhelmed, and stretched thin, then it's much, much easier just to get a 9-to-5 and you only have to wear that one hat. So if you're running your own business, please give yourself the space to run it how you want to run it and to manage yourself in a way that works best. Now, I'm not saying a set schedule might not work for you. For some people, that 9-to-5 and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z between 10 and 11 and having all your hours and your time blocked may completely work for you. And that's great. You've found your way of working. But if that kind of structure doesn't work for you, I really, really encourage you to start experimenting and giving yourself some more flexibility. Don't try to force yourself into a box that doesn't fit you or a schedule that doesn't work for you. So I hope this video has inspired you to maybe make some tweaks with how you work in your business and to experiment with your schedule and how you manage your time within your business. Please join the Hustle Happier Hub of Operations. That's my freebie hub, and that gives you a lot of resources to get started getting your business operations organized and optimized to fit you.